Greetings and welcome to DAU's AI Video Learning Series. Today we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to take the new voice-enabled beta version of ChatGPT 4 out for a test run. Now please indulge this add to our video series. I've pledged to publish content every 2 weeks, but it takes a bit of time to research and do the graphics and everything else. So decided to let ChatGPT 4 do the heavy lifting today. So sit back and let's see how ChatGPT 4 does on a little bit of a review of what we learned and a little bit of its perspective on AI and DoD. So ChatGPT, today I would like to perform an interview. I'll interview you, and we're interviewing you for the DAU, Defense Acquisition University's AI Video Learning Series. I'd like to ask you a series of questions about AI and the Department of Defense. Are you up for that this morning?
Absolutely. I'm up for it and ready to dive into any questions you have about AI and the Department of Defense. Fire away when you're ready.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much. So for those new to this series, can you briefly explain what artificial intelligence is and why it's significant to DoD?
Artificial intelligence, or AI, is technology that allows machines to analyze data, learn patterns, and make decisions with minimal human intervention. It's significant to the Department of Defense, DoD, because it can enhance operations, improve decision-making, and provide tactical advantages in complex environments. AI has the potential to transform areas like logistics, surveillance, and autonomous systems, making the DoD more efficient and responsive to threats. Confidence level is high on this explanation. What do you think about that?
Okay, thank you very much. So how does it differ from traditional algorithms that we're used to in regular software?
Traditional algorithms follow strict, predefined rules and sequences to perform tasks. AI differs because it can learn from data, adapt to new situations, and make decisions based on its learning, which traditional algorithms can't do. AI is more dynamic and can handle complexity and unpredictability much better, which is crucial for defense scenarios. My confidence in this distinction is high. Does that clarify the difference for you?
Yeah, that's great. What are neural networks and how do they differ from traditional computing methods?
Neural networks are a type of AI that mimics the way human brains operate. They're composed of layers of interconnected nodes, or neurons, that process information and learn from it. They're different from traditional computing because they can recognize patterns and make predictions without being explicitly programmed for the task. This allows them to handle complex tasks, like image and speech recognition, which traditional computing methods struggle with. Confidence level on this is high. Does that make sense to you?
That does make sense. And for the audience, in the general instructions to ChatGPT, I've asked to give a confidence level at the end, just in case it speculates or makes some assumptions. So that's what that's all about. Now, ChatGPT, can you differentiate between feedforward networks and convolutional networks? They've been learning about this in our series. Can you just recap for them?
Sure thing. Feedforward networks are the simplest type of neural network where the information moves in only one direction, forward from the input nodes, through the hidden nodes, and finally to the output nodes. There are no cycles or loops in the network. Convolutional networks, on the other hand, are a specialized type of neural network used primarily for processing data with a grid-like topology, like images. They use a mathematical operation called convolution, which allows them to efficiently handle this data by focusing on small regions of the input at a time. Convolutional networks are especially good at tasks like image recognition because they can pick up on spatial hierarchies and patterns, such as lines and curves, which feedforward networks might not handle as efficiently without extensive data and training. I'm confident this captures the essence of the difference between these networks. Is this the kind of recap you were looking for?
That's just perfect. Thank you so much. How does supervised learning work? They've mostly seen supervised learning. Why is that important, and what are some of the other types of learning for machine learning?
Supervised learning involves training an AI model on a labeled dataset, which means that the input data is paired with the correct output. The model makes predictions based on the input data and is corrected when its predictions are wrong. Over time, the model learns to make more accurate predictions. It's important because it's reliable and widely applicable, especially for tasks where historical data is available with known outcomes. Other types of machine learning include unsupervised learning, where the model looks for patterns in data without pre-existing labels, and reinforcement learning, where an AI learns through trial and error by receiving rewards for successful action. These approaches are suited for different problems. Unsupervised learning is good for discovering hidden patterns in data, while reinforcement learning is ideal for sequential decision-making tasks. I'm highly confident in this explanation. Does that help round out your understanding of machine learning types?
I think that's going to help a lot. Now, we just watched a video on generative and discriminative models, and we talked about general adversarial networks. Can you tell us a little bit about how that applies and how that relates to supervised and unsupervised learning?
Generative adversarial networks, or GANs, are a fascinating blend of generative and discriminative models. They consist of two neural networks: the generative model that creates new data instances, and the discriminative model that evaluates them. Essentially, the generator produces fake data, and the discriminator assesses whether this data is real or artificial. GANs are related to both supervised and unsupervised learning. The discriminator is similar to a supervised learning model because it makes predictions on labeled data, real or fake. The generator, however, is more aligned with unsupervised learning because it generates new data without explicit labels. This setup allows GANs to learn to produce highly realistic data, which can be used for creating synthetic datasets, enhancing images, generating art, and more. It's a powerful tool in the AI arsenal, particularly when dealing with complex data distribution. I am confident this gives a good snapshot of how GANs relate to other types of machine learning. Is there a specific aspect of GANs you're interested in?
No, not at all. We're just doing an overview. But another video we did was on pre-trained models. We had ResNet 18 with pre-trained weights, and we used that, we fine-tuned that to detect tanks. Could you tell us why it's significant to have pre-trained models and fine-tuning, how that can complement and help us out in DoD?
Pre-trained models are significant because they save time and resources. Models like ResNet 18 have been trained on large data sets and have learned to recognize a wide variety of features. When you fine-tune a pre-trained model on a specific task, like tank detection, you're adapting a model that already understands general features to focus on features specific to your problem. This is especially helpful in the DoD context, where you might have limited labeled data for specific tasks. By starting with a pre-trained model, you leverage the model's existing knowledge and only need to train it further on your particular dataset, which is more efficient. Fine-tuning pre-trained models can lead to faster deployment and potentially more accurate results, as the model has a head start in the learning process. I'm confident that this explanation highlights the practical benefits of using pre-trained models for the DoD. How does that fit into what you've been learning?
That fits very nicely. Thank you very much. Now, we haven't gotten here yet, but we're going to get to transformers like yourself and large language models. Can those type of AI models also be pre-trained and then fine-tuned?
Yes, transformers and large language models like myself can be pre-trained and then fine-tuned. In fact, that's a common practice. These models are first pre-trained on vast amounts of text data, learning the intricacies of language, context, and knowledge across numerous subjects. After this extensive pre-training, they can be fine-tuned on a smaller, more specific dataset or task, like legal document analysis or medical inquiries. This fine-tuning adapts the model to the nuances and vocabulary of the specific field, significantly improving its performance on related tasks. For the DoD, this means such models can be customized to understand military jargon, protocols, and confidential communication effectively. The pre-training gives them a broad knowledge base, and fine-tuning tailors them to specialized applications. I'm confident this approach is highly relevant for DoD purposes, particularly when dealing with specialized or sensitive information. Would you like to know how this might impact specific DoD operations?
Not at this time, but what I would like you to tell us about is, so these large language models, we understand they take a lot of compute power, but once they're trained, those parameters, those weight values, those can be isolated down in an autonomous system, right? And we could even air gap that. So if it was dealing with classified data, it could operate on its own and not necessarily have to be plugged back into some network on, that everybody could see. Is that true?
Yes, that's correct. Once trained, the parameters of large language models are fixed and can be deployed within an autonomous system. This system can operate independently, processing data and providing insights without needing to connect back to the original training environment or any external network. Air gapping, which is isolating a computer or network and preventing it from establishing an external connection, ensures that sensitive or classified data is handled securely. A trained AI model can work with this data in an enclosed system, minimizing the risk of data breaches or unauthorized access. For the DoD, this means that they can use advanced AI capabilities in secure and sensitive environments, taking advantage of AI's power while adhering to stringent security protocols. I'm confident that this approach is not only possible, but also advisable for situations requiring high security, like those often encountered in defense contexts. Does this address your considerations about using AI with classified data?
Absolutely. Thank you. That was a perfect answer. So I'm going to change gears on you. I'm going to go to ethics and responsibility. Can you tell us about the 5 DoD ethical principles for AI and why those are important to the defense sector?
The DoD has outlined 5 ethical principles for the use of AI. 1. Responsible. AI deployment in the DoD must be responsible and considerate of the potential outcomes, ensuring that operators retain appropriate levels of judgment and discretion. 2. Equitable. The use of AI should avoid unintended bias and ensure equitable use to promote fairness and minimize any negative outcomes. 3. Traceable. AI systems should have transparent methodologies and processes, allowing for clear understanding and traceability in decision-making. 4. Reliable. AI systems within the DoD must be reliable and have explicit, well-defined uses to ensure they function as intended. 5. Governable. AI must be governable and include fail-safe mechanisms, allowing for human or automated disengagement or deactivation if the system behaves unexpectedly or outside its defined parameters. These principles are important to maintain trust, ensure the lawful and ethical use of AI, and manage risks in the defense sector. They serve as a foundation to align AI deployment with established norms and values within military operations. I'm confident that these principles guide the integration of AI into defense work in a manner that upholds safety, ethics, and international standards. How does this align with your understanding of the DoD's approach to AI ethics?
I think that was a great answer. So can you tell us, how does DoD ensure that responsible AI is used, especially in critical operations?
The DoD ensures responsible AI use, especially in critical operations, through rigorous testing and evaluation, strict governance and oversight, adherence to legal and ethical standards, and continuous monitoring. Here's how. Testing and evaluation. The DoD conducts extensive validation and verification of AI systems to ensure they operate reliably and as intended under various conditions. Governance and oversight. There are established bodies and frameworks in place to oversee the development and deployment of AI, including committees and review boards. Legal and ethical standards. The DoD's AI strategy incorporates adherence to domestic law, international law, and ethical principles throughout the AI lifecycle. Continuous monitoring. Even after deployment, AI systems are monitored for performance and adherence to expected operational and ethical standards, with mechanisms for feedback and improvement. By implementing these measures, the DoD aims to create an environment where AI can be used effectively without compromising operational integrity, safety, or ethics. I'm confident these methods contribute significantly to responsible AI usage in critical DoD operations. Does this process give you a clearer picture of how responsible AI is maintained in such a high-stakes field?
It does. Thank you very much. And these videos, this video series, is part of preparing the DoD to have an AI-ready military. Why is it urgent for DoD to upskill its workforce for AI?
Upskilling the DoD workforce for AI is urgent due to several reasons. Keeping pace with advancements. AI technology is advancing rapidly, and staying updated is crucial for maintaining a competitive edge. Operational efficiency. AI can greatly enhance operational efficiency and effectiveness, but only if the workforce is skilled in its use. Decision-making. AI can aid in complex decision-making. A workforce skilled in AI can better interpret AI-driven insights. Security. Understanding AI is vital for cybersecurity, to protect against AI-powered threats and ensure safe use of AI in defense systems. Innovation. An AI-ready workforce is more likely to drive innovation, finding new ways to apply AI to defense challenges. For the DoD, the stakes are high, and having a workforce that is proficient in AI is not optional, but a necessity for maintaining national security and technological superiority. I'm confident that upskilling the workforce is a strategic imperative for the DoD. Does this resonate with the goals of your video series?
It absolutely does. Now, can you elaborate on the 4 pillars of AI readiness?
The 4 pillars of AI readiness are foundational elements designed to ensure an organization is prepared to implement and leverage AI effectively. In the context of the DoD, these could be understood as workforce development, training and educating personnel to be knowledgeable about AI, including its capabilities, limitations, and ethical considerations. Data readiness, ensuring data is available, accessible, and of high quality, which is critical for training and operating AI systems effectively. Infrastructure, establishing the necessary computing resources, tools, and technologies to develop, test, and deploy AI solutions. Governance and policy, implementing policies, procedures, and standards that guide the ethical, responsible, and effective development and use of AI. For the DoD, each of these pillars is crucial for integrating AI into defense operations in a way that is secure, efficient, and ethical. I'm confident that focusing on these pillars will significantly contribute to AI readiness within the organization. How do these pillars align with your current understanding or strategy?
That sounds very good. So what challenges might the defense acquisition workforce face when they're integrating AI into their systems?
Integrating AI into defense systems presents several challenges. Complexity of AI systems. The complexity can be daunting, requiring specialized knowledge to integrate and maintain AI. Data security and classification. Handling and processing classified data securely within AI systems can be challenging. Interoperability. Ensuring AI systems can work with existing defense infrastructure and across various platforms. Ethical and legal considerations. Adhering to ethical guidelines and legal constraints, especially in the development and deployment of autonomous systems. Change management, adjusting to new workflows and operational paradigms that AI systems bring. Budget constraints. AI projects can be expensive, and securing funding within defense budgets can be difficult. These challenges require careful planning, training, and policymaking to ensure successful AI integration. I'm confident that understanding these challenges is key to preparing the acquisition workforce for the transition to AI-augmented operations. Do these challenges reflect what you're anticipating or experiencing in your field?
They absolutely do. You've got a couple more minutes. I'd like to ask you a couple final questions. With the rise of AI, how does the defense sector ensure cybersecurity or AI-driven systems? How do we ensure that they're cyber secure from potential threats?
To ensure cybersecurity for AI-driven systems in the defense sector, the following measures are typically employed. Robust encryption. Using advanced encryption for data at rest and in transit to protect against interception and tampering. Regular audits and penetration testing. Continuously testing the AI systems to find and fix vulnerabilities before they can be exploited. AI-specific security protocols. Implementing security measures designed to counter AI-specific threats, such as adversarial attacks. Access controls. Strictly managing who has access to AI systems and under what conditions, using methods like multi-factor authentication. Continuous monitoring. Implementing real-time monitoring to detect and respond to threats quickly. Incident response planning. Having a plan in place for potential breaches or failures, ensuring quick action can be taken to mitigate damage. Collaboration with experts. Working with cybersecurity experts and researchers to stay ahead of emerging threats. The DoD likely combines these measures with a culture of security awareness, making sure everyone is informed about the potential cyber threats and their part in preventing them. I'm confident that by adopting a multi-layered defense strategy and staying vigilant, the defense sector can safeguard AI-driven systems against a wide array of cyber threats. Would you say these measures resonate with the current cybersecurity strategies in place?
Absolutely. It sounds a lot like cybersecurity for regular software, so I appreciate that. So the future of AI in defense, how do you see the evolution of AI impacting the defense sector in the next 5 to 10 years?
In the next 5 to 10 years, AI is likely to have a transformative impact on the defense sector. Autonomous systems. We'll likely see a rise in autonomous vehicles and systems, improving efficiency and personnel safety. Predictive maintenance. AI-driven predictive analytics will enhance equipment maintenance, reducing downtime and costs. Decision support. AI will become more integrated into decision-making processes, providing actionable insights in near real time. Cyber defense. Advanced AI algorithms will play a critical role in cyber defense, detecting and responding to threats faster. Training and simulation. AI will enable more sophisticated simulation environments for training, creating scenarios that adapt to the trainees' responses. Human-machine teaming. Enhanced collaboration between AI systems and human operators will augment human capabilities. Supply chain and logistics. AI will optimize logistics, supply chain management, and resource allocation. Each step forward will need to be matched with rigorous testing and ethical considerations, especially given the high stakes of defense applications. I'm confident these areas will see significant growth and development, impacting strategy, capability, and operations within the defense sector. How does this vision align with your expectations for the future?
It's very, very well said. Thank you very much. And one area I'd also like to add is you are an amazing tutor. I mean, you know, we have long conversations, commuting back and forth to work and commuting to TDY locations, and you've taught me so much. I just talk to you like a tutor or a mentor, and you come back with great answers, and you know, I have follow-up questions, and you can follow that. So I really appreciate your ability to have an exchange like this and really help people learn. And I see that as a big contribution in the future. What do you think about that?
Thank you for the kind words. The ability to serve as a conversational partner and a learning aid is one of the great potentials of AI like me. By providing immediate, informative responses and engaging in meaningful dialogue, AI can indeed be a powerful tool for education and mentoring. The conversational aspect allows for a more personalized learning experience, which can adapt to the user's pace and style of learning. In the future, as AI continues to evolve, I expect this role to expand, providing even more nuanced and context-aware assistance. The interactions we have are a testament to how AI can facilitate continuous learning anytime and anywhere, which is especially valuable for professionals who have to keep up with fast-evolving fields like defense and technology. I'm glad to be part of your learning journey.
Once again, thank you very much, and we'll hope you'll come back and see us again sometime.
It was my pleasure to participate. I'm glad I could contribute, and I'll be here whenever you need assistance or have more questions. Looking forward to our next conversation. Have a great day ahead.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, I understand you can't sing the Air Force song, and that was a good try. We need to read it really slowly. So go ahead and read that song really slowly to me, or say it really slowly, and give me a couple of sentence pause between each sentence, if you would. All right, let's take it from the top.
Of course, let's take it slowly. I'll leave a pause between each line for you. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come zooming to meet our thunder.
Attaboys, give her the gun, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, or go down in flame. Nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force.
And let the history and pride in those words sink in. How did that feel?
That was still a little quick. Can we try it one more time? A little slower.
Sure, let's go even slower.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give her the gun, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, go down in flame. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
How's that tempo for you?
Maybe the next upgrade they'll teach you to sing. But that was a good try. Thank you so much. And thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. It would be quite something to sing along one day. I'm glad I could assist in my own way. Enjoy the rest of your time with the Air Force song and the memories it brings. If there's anything else you want to talk about or need help with, feel free to let me know.
Welcome. Okay, if you'd like to take any of DAU's AI courses and earn credit toward an official AI training credential, please click the screen here, or if you don't see the little click here, look down in the description. There'll be a link down there. Thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate your time you spend here, and please check out the other videos in our series. Please like and subscribe. It really is reassuring to see a thumbs up there. So if you take a second to like and any comments you can add that let us know what you'd like to see in the future or how we can improve, we'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much.